Hey everybody, welcome back to TechOdyssey. So today I'm here with a kind of a three-pronged video talking about some things going on in the BlackBerry world. First and foremost is the new security patch update for the BlackBerry Mobile KEY2. So the BBF 100-2 model has an update February 5th, 2021 security patch. Really cool. And it doesn't apply to the KEY2 LE. So that's kind of a Cliff Notes version. Also, I want to talk about my thoughts on kind of where things are at with OnwardMobility and the new BlackBerry. They have not given me new information, but based off of my insight and the things that I'm thinking about and observing, I kind of have some ideas on where I think they're at in the process. I want to share that with you guys because I've been getting a lot of questions. Also, the last thing I want to talk about is the status of BlackBerry devices on T-Mobile, particularly the BlackBerry 10 phones. There was an announcement saying that phones that didn't support voice over LTE would be cut off starting in January. There might be an asterisk next to that because mine are still working. So I want to talk about all three of these things in this video. But before we get into that, I do want to say if this is your first time stopping by the channel, I appreciate you being here. If you enjoy the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. Now let's talk about all the BlackBerry things. So today I'm here to talk about the BlackBerry KEY2, and there's been another security patch update, so that's a great thing. I checked it today. They pushed out an update for February the 5th, and this was actually really surprising to me that they were able to get this out so early, because the last one kind of took a little while. It was a couple weeks into January before we got the January security patch, and now we got a February 5th security patch, and it is the ACU 375. As far as I can tell, this is for the North American models, the BBF 100-2. Probably you're not going to get it on the 100-6, just like all the other ones, and it seems like this is still limited to a North America thing. And I don't have any insight as to why that is. I've heard some conflicting different things, some opinion pieces from people about carrier obligations, either in North America or Canada or something like that. But either way, there is a relevant security update for the BlackBerry KEY2. And I think that's important. I've mentioned this in previous videos before, that it seems like the software team is still kind of engaged with things. Maybe it's just a side project for the guys at BlackBerry as they wait for the new OnwardMobility version to come out. But that's what we have right now. And the name of it is ACU 375. And I don't really know where they come up with the naming construct for these software and security patches. They're different each time. It's not like it's a sequential one. So current up-to-date for February 5th. And like I said before, I believe this is important. This is the current flagship right now in the BlackBerry world, even though this came out in 2018. But I think it's important if they're talking about dependency, relevancy, and being the most secure phone manufacturer in the world, at least keeping this one with security patches until the next one comes out, I think is important. So I don't know how many more we're going to see. I don't have any insight on when the new BlackBerry is going to come out. I haven't heard anything. So hopefully we'll hear something in the next couple of months. I had spoke previously and I said I expected to hear something around the CES ballpark, and I was right. We got the announcement for the acquisitions for the two new vice presidents for sales and government contracts. So that tells me that things are trending in a positive direction towards the new BlackBerry coming out onto market. But if you're still holding a BlackBerry KEY2 in your hands, at least in some markets and some models, you still have a relevant security patch update, and I think that's important. So yeah, the BlackBerry KEY2 BBF 100-2. I did check on the KEY2 LE. There was nothing. So maybe that was just a fluke. The last one that I got on mine was the November 5th security patch update. I had hoped that they were going to keep, carrying both of them along, especially since the BlackBerry KEY2 LE is technically newer than the BlackBerry KEY2. Yeah, so I'm not really sure why only this one. And of course, the BlackBerry KEY1, BlackBerry Mobile KEY1, it hasn't seen a security patch update since April of 2019. So that one is far and gone. The same thing when it comes to the Motion. It hasn't seen one in a long time either. And the KEY2 LE looks like November was the latest one. At this point, I think that they're probably done with those, and we're just going to see them on the KEY2 moving forward. I'm not sure how much longer either, but I'm really surprised they're continuing it. And I myself thought that once the license agreement ended that there wouldn't be any more. So I'm just grateful for each and every one that they do push out. That's great. I'm glad that it's still secure. But there's a lot of question marks out in the air right now. I've been getting a lot of questions lately from people. Have you heard anything? Have you heard anything? Have you heard anything? And we're going on what? It was the middle of August when they announced the licensing agreement to Onward Mobility. So September, October, November, December, January, February, 7 months. So typically, and I've mentioned this before, it takes about 8 to 10 months to bring a device to market for an established company. That's kind of the cycle that Samsung and Apple are on, at least from my knowledge. So it seems like we're getting very, very close. Again, there's those signs with the vice presidents for sales and government contracts. With those guys coming on board, I would imagine there's probably a prototype right now that they're going and showing to at least some people in an effort to try and get them on board. Of course, under non-disclosure agreements and all that other stuff. So, yeah, as soon as I find something out, I will certainly make a video and let everybody know. Again, this was just to let you guys know there is another security patch. I don't have any more information presently. I do hope that we will see or hear something in the near future. I am on the priority media list for whatever new announcements are made. So as soon as I hear something, I will definitely let y'all know as soon as the embargo dates are lifted for the information. So currently I have nothing. As of February the 5th, today, I have nothing. So rest assured there. But yeah, I'm waiting. I know y'all guys are waiting. And for right now, continue to enjoy the BlackBerries that you're using. One other side note, I do want to talk about this. So with the BlackBerry 10 devices on T-Mobile, they were supposed to, at least I thought, shut off service to those because they don't support voice over LTE. I thought those were going to shut off at the beginning of January. Then it was like, okay, like February 3rd was supposed to be the cutoff date. My BlackBerry Q10 and my Passport are still working. So I know they do support HD voice, which is kind of like voice over LTE. And I think there's been a bit of a change whenever it comes to what they initially said with T-Mobile, because they're not getting rid of the 3G spectrum right now. At least not to my knowledge. It's going to be phased out, at least from what I know. When it comes to the devices, though, they said that phones not supporting voice over LTE were going to be cut off in January. And with that being, January 3rd being, February 3rd, I believe, being the last day for that. So they're still working. And I was going to talk about this in a separate video, but I guess I'll go ahead and bundle it up now. I think they're still going to be okay. And it seems like there is a list. Before it was, they said all phones not supporting voice over LTE, but now there's like a definitive list I saw out there. And like, there's a Nexus device on there. There's a bunch of Sony devices. I don't know why they have targeted those specifically, and I don't know if this is going to be more broad, but I never got one of those messages saying your phone's not going to work anymore, which they said they were going to send out. So, but I'm also changing phones and devices all the time, so that could be part of that. So, moving forward, it seems like for now, or maybe into perpetuity, forever, the BlackBerry 10 devices may work on T-Mobile. I hope that's the case because I still very much like them. They will not be end of life for BlackBerry 10 until January 2022. So it looks like, at least from my perspective so far, of course this could change. It could always change. But right now it seems like it's okay. And again, my Q10's working. My Passport's working. I haven't tried my other BlackBerry 10 devices, but I think that those will probably be okay as well. So I'm happy about that. Of course, you do have limited app support, especially in the BlackBerry 10 world and on Android side as well. So it's kind of a game of attrition where it's like, well, the network coverage might not be there. The BlackBerry 10 might be end of life in another year. There's not a whole lot that it supports anymore because the Android runtime is getting so old. But still, if you want to use them for some basic functions, and of course, texting, phone calls, they're top notch for those. The Paratech antenna, the speakers, the call quality, they're still great for some of that business stuff. And of course, they're losing support for some of the email services as well. I know Yahoo and Google are being particularly pains in the rear end, and I'm not sure what the workarounds are for those. So this is kind of a hodgepodge video. This will be reflected in the title, which, I mean, of course you already saw that. I initially set out for this to be a let's talk about the security patch update, but then also I've had so many questions lately, I wanted to go ahead and address this. As far as information on Onward Mobility, still nothing new. There are signs, hopefully something in the future, and then T-Mobile looks like BlackBerry 10 devices might be okay for the time being. So I'm happy about that. I don't have a legacy device to test with it. No 8800, no 9900. So maybe somebody else can sound off in the comments on that. But it seems like, yeah, that's kind of the three prongs of this conversation that I wanted to have encapsulate in this video. So hopefully this has been helpful. Hopefully this has been a good update for you and let you know, of course, about the security patch for your BlackBerry KEY2 if you have the 100-2 model. Other models, asterisk next to those because I don't have them and can't test them. But the 100-2 has been reliable with getting these monthly security updates. So that's all I've got. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section. I will get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.